Oh, hello, welcome back. After knowing the company's business model, we would like to check whether the company business has durable competitive edge or economy modes. Because companies with economy modes will likely to see at least keep their profitability for long term or at best increase their profits over time, which is good for us as investors. So in the world of capitalism, capital always looks for highest return possible. Company with high profit margin will likely to see their profit margin decrease over time because new companies enter the market, increase competition, driving down profitability. But only small amount of companies enjoy many years of returns on invested capitals. How do they do that? By creating structural competitive edge or economy modes. So economy modes are structural competitive advantage that helps insulate the company profitability from competition. So a key question to ask is whether does a company have a durable competitive edge or economy mode. According to Morningstar, there are five sources of economy mode. So they are intangible asset, switching cost, cost advantage, efficient skill, and network effect. So I will go through one or all of these five sources of economy mode later on. First one, intangible asset. It can be brands, patents, or licenses. Brands. We are not talking about the popular brands. Here we are talking about the brands that influence the consumer's behavioral spending habits, which relates to one's willingness to pay more for a certain product or low search cost. For example, people are willing to pay a premium for a Starbucks coffee or Tiffany branded jewelry. So Starbucks and Tiffany have brand value, whereas Sony has no brand value. Why? I don't think there are a lot of people willing to pay 30% premium for a Sony TV over a Samsung TV. That's why Sony has no brand value. The other one of brand value would be the slow search cost. Example would be Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, so nobody is not going to spend 5 minutes uh, on deciding which code to buy on at supermarket. People simply grab it without thinking. So low search cost is a form of brand value. Next will be patents or proprietary know-hows. Patents offer legal monopoly. They protect companies from unauthorized commercial usage of their products by competitors. But the problems with patents is that they will get expired eventually one day. So therefore, these companies have to ensure they have wide portfolio of patents in order to keep their profitability. So examples will be Merck, Symphony, and Qualcomm. Next, the other form of intangible asset will be government approval or licensing. Government approvals or license are limited in numbers. It creates high barrier to entry for new competitors. So the most ideal scenario would be the company is a monopoly. However, as investors, we need to pay attention to any government policy changes that can affect the company profitability. Next, consumers switching costs. Switching costs happens when the cost of switching to a competing product or to a competitors is much greater than the benefits it can bring in for making the switch. So switching cost is not just monetary in nature, it can be also be measured by the effort, the time, the psychological toll that it takes to make the switch. Even though the product can be more expensive than the competitors, but the benefit to cost ratio is so high, then it provides the company the ability to raise price on their product or services. However, as an investor, we need to understand the consumer or the customer experience in using the products in order to identify whether the switching cost is high or not. Example of the company with high switching costs will be Microsoft, Salesforce. Next, network effect. Network effect is simply providing a service that increases in value as the numbers of users expands. As more and more people use the company products or service, the value of the product or service increases for both existing and new users. So it's really up to the company on how they monetize the network. So company with high network effect will be Facebook, Visa, and Tencent. Next, competitive advantage will be cost advantage. So it can be in the form of process, location, or skill. So company with cost advantage usually are the companies that are able to produce their products or service at much lower cost than their competitors. That's why they are able to achieve high profit margin. So this can be done by three ways. The first one, process low distribution and manufacturing costs. So it means the company invent a better way of delivering the product or service that the competitors cannot easily replicate. Next will be the location advantage. It means the company has their core business operation near to the customer or at a very cost-effective location. Next, economies of scale. So it means the company is so huge that it is able to spread their fixed costs over a large base or large volume of production. So the larger the output, the lower percentage of their fixed costs. So these are the examples that achieve low cost advantage. Next, it will be the efficient scale. So efficient scale happens when the company operate in a small market that only support one or a few competitors, which limits the competition pressure. So when the company serve a small market, a market limited in size, new competitors may not have the incentive to enter the market. Because when the new competitors enter the market, all the profit margin of all the players in the same market decrease together. So in this small or limited size market, the company needs not to be very big in absolute value, but what it needs is that this company must be much bigger than the rest of the competitors. So efficient scale usually happens in telecommunication industry, utilities, railroads, or airports. So next, let's go to our case study on micromechanics. So I have identified three economy modes for this company. The first one, intangible asset. So I think micromechanics has developed proprietary know-how on the material composition required to produce their tools. Not only these materials are able to avoid electrostatic discharge, chemical and organic contamination, it also requires high amount of R&D spending. And the other form of economy mode I see from micromechanics is high switching costs for their customer, because Micromechanics products have been subjected to stringent pre-qualification process in the customer side. So every customer requires some level of customization for their tools, and they are looking for fast turnaround time. So Micromechanics is able to meet the customer requirement, and it could be very costly for the customer to switch to alternative or unknown suppliers. Next will be the cost advantage. So the company tool development process are able to meet the customer fast turnaround time, which is about 6 days. Yeah, it means the customer do not need to keep very large inventories of such tools. So, and not only that, the Micromechanics also has large customer base, more than 600 customers, and it allows the company to spread their fixed costs over a large volume of production. That's why the company has shown a high profit margin. The gross margin is more than 50%, net margin is more than 20%. So I hope today's sharing on the economy modes will benefit you. And next we have to understand what is the company business risk as well as the growth driver. I will see you in the next video.